What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update, and daily news report for Saturday, May 29th. Now, hopefully you guys have an incredible Memorial Day weekend. Now, I first just wanted to, come out and just say, you guys are amazing. You guys are making this community just awesome. I've noticed over the past couple of weeks, I've been reading in the comments, and a lot of you guys are actually giving great advice and helping other people inside the community out, which is greatly appreciated, not only by me, but other members as well. I saw one subscriber just the other day. They were actually helping somebody by answering questions on where they could go and get rental assistance and additional relief. I've seen people actually go and try to work with others in the comments and teaching them and showing them different ways to create a better resume to go and apply for certain jobs. This is something that you don't have to do this, but just the goodwill of you guys, the community, it's making this community here on YouTube just even better. So I just want to thank you guys for doing that, because that's something that you don't have to do, but it's something that is greatly appreciated by me and others as well. So again, thank you guys for doing that. That is what makes YouTube and this community here just incredible. So again, I just wanted to shout you guys out that are doing that and helping out, because you are greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into what is actually happening within Congress. Right now, the Senate will vote on election reform sometime in June. And I bring this up because this could impact stimulus. And you're probably thinking, well, how is this going to impact stimulus? Well, here's what we know. According to reports, right now there are some moderates right now that are going to be watching the upcoming bills, the upcoming votes. They're going to be looking at this, because what we are seeing, if we see Senate Republicans filibuster multiple bills every single time, it's just filibuster, filibuster, filibuster. Okay, and what a filibuster is it simply means that the vote didn't get enough votes. So it didn't get the 60 votes that is needed in the Senate to pass the bill. So it's technically a filibuster. Well, what we know is that Democrats are looking at the filibuster and considering possibly doing filibuster reform. But this will not happen. This could happen sometime in possibly June, July, maybe into September. But the reports indicate that right now Democrats want to see the infrastructure bill passed. That is a big one. Then they want to obviously work on the government spending bill, but in between that, they have other things like police reform, election reform. They got that the Chinese competitiveness bill. They want to work on the January 6th commission, which yesterday was voted against. It didn't pass. So what we know is currently there's over 100 Democrats that do support and publicly have stated they do support ending the filibuster. There's more than 100, but there's over 100 that have just publicly stated that. And with each bill that gets rejected by Republicans, the chances of seeing some type of filibuster reform happen sooner rather than later is actually increasing. So what does this mean? Well, if we end the filibuster, okay, whether it happens sooner rather than later, or maybe it doesn't happen at all, we don't know. But if the filibuster's ended, then the Senate could easily pass a minimum wage increase, additional stimulus checks, expanded child tax credits, election reform, police reform, the January 6th commission, which again was rejected yesterday. All these things could pass easily, because all you would need is 51 votes in order to get these things passed, not 60. And the 51 votes, that means that we don't even have to worry about a budget reconciliation, because a lot of these things can pass without it. They don't need a budget reconciliation because they will have the simple majority of 51 votes. So that's kind of where things are going. This is the reason why I'm telling you, if we see a filibuster reform or an end to the filibuster, which again, Senator Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat, he says he will not end the filibuster. But just because he says he won't end it, he has also stated in the past couple of months that he would be supportive of some type of reform to make it harder on the minority to reject these bills. It would become easier for the majority, which is currently Democrats. So this could potentially mean additional stimulus checks. This could potentially mean additional unemployment benefits. This might mean, additional child tax credits or other tax credits as well. Right now, there's a lot of discussions on what could we pass if we didn't have to worry about the filibuster. So we will see. But right now, some are saying that we need to end the filibuster immediately. And speaking of immediately, I have seen a lot of articles and reports stating that the stimulus is coming in June and July. Awesome, right? Everybody's excited because the stimulus is coming in June and July. Well, what stimulus? This is the question that I ask. And I've been reading a lot of articles, watching a lot of interviews, and people are talking about the stimulus that's coming in June and July. Well, here's what we know. Right, and I need you to understand this because this is nothing new. This is not a new stimulus check. There's no new stimulus check that's been passed. If you already received your $1,400 stimulus check, that was the last stimulus check that you technically will receive until another one is passed, which another one has not passed. Okay? Here's what we know. People are starting to see that their unemployment income tax refunds are starting to be received. You're starting to see those. That is what some of these media outlets and some of these different people on social media are referencing, is the unemployment income tax refunds. Those are the things that are coming out. They already started coming out in May, but they are coming out to the easier people, the easier tax returns. Those are getting those unemployment income tax returns quicker. Okay, but the families, the people that have unemployment income, even W-2 income, right? Maybe they have investments, have real estate, they have other things as well. They have children. Those complicate things a little bit more. So the more complex your tax return is, the longer you will have to wait until you get your unemployment income tax refund. But just understand, the IRS says their plan is to have these all out before the end of summer. So we're still a few months away from that. But just keep in mind, we are getting there. We're getting closer. But that is what many of these media outlets are referencing when they talk about that June stimulus. It's technically just the unemployment income tax refunds. Now, there is also one coming in July, and this is and even though the unemployment income tax refund is technically a stimulus, it's something that we haven't seen before, and this was the goal of this was to help stimulate the economy, provide the American people with a little bit more income. Well, the next one is coming in July, and this is the child tax credit. These are the monthly payments or the payment advance of the child tax credits. What you need to understand is if you have a child between 0 and 5, you will get $300 per month. If your child is between the ages of 6 and 17, you will get $250 per month. And that is something that will just be added up. Now, if you have 4 children, let's say all under the age of 5, you will get $1,200 per month. Okay? And even though current legislation only has this working for 1 year, for the calendar year of 2021, many lawmakers are trying to increase this to 2025. So this does have bipartisan support. My guess is we will see this extended, and we will receive 4 more years of this child tax credit. So if you have children, great. You are going to see monthly payments. If you do not have children, well, there's nothing in this child tax credit that is for you. So just keep that in mind that right now, the goal within Congress and the goal within the Democratic Party has been to decrease the amount of poverty we see in the United States. And one of the biggest issues is we have too many children living in poverty. So how do they combat this? How do they fix this? Well, give children more money. But you can't just give a child money. They'll spend it on candy and whatever else, maybe even lose it. So you have to give it to the parents. And now it's the responsibility of the parents to spend the money on their child and lift them out of poverty. Whether it happens or not, well, we will see. What I can tell you though, okay, is that right now Republicans on Thursday, they did propose a $928 billion infrastructure counteroffer to the Biden administration. And I bring this up because what we need to understand is that right now there's bipartisan support on the child tax credits. There's bipartisan support on this Chinese competitiveness bill. There's bipartisan support on a more transportation style bill. There's bipartisan support elsewhere as well. But the reason I bring this up is because this is the biggest bill. this is the biggest bill as of right now is the infrastructure package. And if we don't see bipartisan support here in some way, all the other things could break down, okay, which we're kind of seeing at this time. So we know that the GOP proposed $928 billion in infrastructure. That is good. And in that proposal, they outlined that they would repurpose some of the funds from the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that President Biden passed on March 11th. They would repurpose that. Now, these funds, just to give you an idea, these funds would come, it's about $700 billion. That $700 billion would come from money set aside to help small businesses, restaurants, rural hospitals, and also the child tax credit expansion. Yes, Republicans are even though they have bipartisan support in some way, and I'm not saying every Republican wants to see, this child tax credit happen, or some don't. I'm just saying there's bipartisan support, which means there's some Republicans, some Democrats that do support this one piece of legislation. So just understand, Republicans at this time, even though some are pushing for the child tax credit expansion, others are trying to pull money away from it and push that over to infrastructure, because some say that is a more dire priority than just seeing the child tax credit. So we'll see what happens there. Also, according to reports, the Biden administration has been encouraged by the $928 billion infrastructure offer, but they are not pleased with how the package will be paid for. So, President Biden stated that negotiations will be ongoing, but just to give you an idea, over the next week or so, Congress is away on recess, so I honestly don't think that we will see a lot of progress happen over this time. That we may, but we just don't know. Which is also going to anger Democrats, because they are saying that right now Republicans are getting their way. They are just seeing delay after delay after delay. So we'll see what happens. And the reason they say this needs to be passed right now is because what we know is that the infrastructure bill has to pass. And then Congress is going to work on the government spending bill. That would have to be in by September 30th, because that's the end of the fiscal year 2021. Now, yesterday, President Biden did unveil his $6 trillion spending package, which is great, but this obviously really angered many Republicans because it was just too expensive. We know this bill will be paid for partially by raising the corporate tax rate, which Republicans don't support. It will be increasing taxes on those making over $400,000 per year, which Republicans don't support, and by raising the marginal tax rate for capital gains by almost double, which again, Republicans do not support. So nothing in this bill indicated anything for students. Nothing in this bill indicated anything for stimulus, right? It's just government spending bill. There's a lot of money going to the Pentagon and defense, and obviously other things as well. But just keep in mind that right now, President Biden is having a tough time, and the Biden administration is struggling because they have provided promises when they were running their campaign, and some of these promises we haven't seen any results from it. We haven't seen any success. We're not getting anywhere closer to $200 per month for Social Security recipients. We don't seem like we're getting any closer to the additional student loan forgiveness. Right now we're still dealing with student loan forbearance, but no forgiveness. President Biden, he had multiple campaign promises. He provided up to $10,000 in student loan forgiveness. However, he hasn't actually done that. What he has done is he has written to the education secretary asking him to look into and provide a memo as to what his responsibilities are, what he could do. And as of right now, after about 2 months, he still has no answer. So right now, President Biden put his government spending bill out there. However, some are wondering why there's not other provisions in it, including $200 for Social Security and the student loan forgiveness. Well, what we know right now is the student loan forbearance program, that ends at the end of September, which is helping a lot of people. But millions and millions of people, current and past students, are waiting to see what their obligations might be. Some are wondering, will they have to make payments? Will they get extended until possibly 2022? Right now, nobody knows. There has been very little talks on we are possibly looking into extending student loan forbearance. Because right now, if somebody does not have a job and now they're going to be required to pay their student loans again, this is going to be devastating. Because this is going to take money away from other things, other priorities, other essentials. So right now, Some just want to know what is currently going through the current administration's head, and I wish I could tell you, but I just can't. I don't know. On top of that, what we do know is that right now, there's a lot of talks and speculation on Medicare. What we have seen is that there's mixed reports on this. Some reports are indicating that yes, President Biden did outline and he is going to put in an expansion to Medicare in his government spending bill. Other reports indicate that no, he does not have any plans to do this. But what I can tell you is that right now, multiple lawmakers have come out and said that this will be included, and President Biden is giving in to progressives' priorities, and he's going to give them exactly what they want. This means it will be anywhere between the new Medicare eligibility age will be anywhere between 55 and 60. We will also see that this will include vision, dental, and hearing. These are things that Senator Bernie Sanders has been pushing for quite some time. So this will now be included. So this is going to help out millions of additional Americans. But what we need to understand right now is that there's mixed reports. Lawmakers are on the side that yes, they are saying that this was included. So as of right now, until we get a really firm understanding and a better outline, because we really need to see that outline, okay, written on paper. Once we see that, then we can really understand, and once it's a detailed outline, then we'll understand exactly what is in it. So, as of right now, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of back and forth amongst lawmakers. Even though they are on recess, they will continue to discuss. They will continue to work to try to get something done. But really what they do over recess is not technically a vacation. Yes, some are going to take a vacation, most likely over Memorial Day weekend, which is now until Monday or Tuesday. But the majority of lawmakers will just be going back to their home districts, spending time with their family, and maybe talking to their constituents to figure out what exactly they need for their district. So we'll see what happens there. As I know more, I promise I'll come back on and I'll share more. I just want to thank you guys for everything that you're doing, all the comments that you're leaving in the comment section, all the questions you're asking, all the thumbs ups, and also all the subscribes. This is really helping out the channel. As we grow, I promise I'm going to give you, even more content. I do plan on possibly pushing my videos up from 2 to 3 videos. However, they will not all 3 be on stimulus because obviously there's not that much to discuss. But at this time, I do plan on, and let me know what you think, but I do plan on doing, a stimulus video and more of a, a daily upload style video in the morning, probably around noon to 2. This is Pacific Standard Time. I would probably do a video more on stocks, financing, and things like that. And then the third video towards the later evening, I will most likely do another daily upload for daily news and breaking news, things like that, possibly stimulus as well. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.